Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Nolan Alders. Guys, I got a big update for you today. KJP has officially ditched the Democratic Party. But first, I want to give you an update from the man himself, Donald Trump, and the soiree that he threw last night. Check it out.
There's a giant lawn party at the White House tonight. Nope, not Trump's birthday yet. This was the summer soiree. Think of a summer State of the Union minus Pelosi and the Panicans. Instead, 3,000 Trump staffers and a whole lot of Stephen Miller. And of course, 47.
We've never done this before, you know that, right? They didn't do it. The previous administration wouldn't have thought of doing it. But we're going to do it for 4 more years. I don't know, maybe 8 more years. 6 months ago, we had a nation that was as cold as ice. It was cold. The whole world was laughing at us, and they're not laughing anymore, that I can tell you now, because of the people here tonight. We have the hottest, most talked about country anywhere in the world.
The party was sponsored by McDonald's and Anheuser-Busch, which I guess means you and I, the taxpayers, we didn't pay for it. They did. The menu? Quarter pounders and beer, and the Navy band performing, quote, classic songs. The country deserves a soiree after what Biden did to it. Biden's last White House party, pride flags and trans flashers. Can't forget about Juneteenth, the night AutoPen froze in front of the world. Washington's under renovation. Even if you're nasty, you still have a seat at the soiree.
If you're a reporter, a White House reporter in D.C., and you are going to be really adversarial and tough, but fair, on Trump, you get like snaps all across town. You get invited to like every single garden party and book party imaginable. But if you do it, with Biden or even with Obama, like there is like a different social like cost, and I do think it affects the reporting.
One exception: if you don't acknowledge the Gulf of America, you're out. Those are the rules. JD has another rule: don't be an ignorant academic.
There are politicians out there who they've just been politicians. You are someone who was an intellectual first. Some people don't like the word intellectual, but I mean it in the good sense of the term. You were writing for National Review.
I come here for free and you insult me and you call me an intellectual.
Remind
me that I wrote for National Review. What a this guy is.
Guys, you got to love JD Vance. I mean, this is a VP that actually has a voice, isn't just a puppet. Something we haven't seen in a long time, guys. KJP, the news about KJP, it's coming up, guys. We're going to see it. Jesse Waters talks about it. But I'm telling you, events like what's happening at the White House, completely unprecedented. Guys, do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up like button if you're enjoying the video so far.
But most people want in on the fun, even the ones you'd never suspect, like the Binder, the official mouthpiece of the Biden White House. Binder has some breaking news. She's transitioning and adopting new pronouns. She's indie.
Hi, I'm Karine Jean-Pierre, and I am the author of a new book that's coming out this fall called Independent. It's coming out on October 21st, so please do grab it. And the reason I wrote this book, coming out of the White House, serving as White House press secretary was an honor and a privilege. But since I have left, the people that come up to me, strangers that come up to me just across the country as I'm traveling, and sometimes right in my neighborhood, at a grocery store, supermarket, airport, my daughter's school, the number one question they ask me is, Karine, how do we get out of this? How do we protect our democracy? How do we protect vulnerable communities among us?
Binder's shopping for sweet potatoes at the grocery store, and customers are asking her about vulnerable communities. How about Binder, who controlled the AutoPen? Did you know he had cancer? Did he really get lost in the closet? Binder spent 2 years lying from a podium, and now she wants to tell us the truth? Look at the name of the book, Inside a Broken White House. Now she's telling us the White House was broken.
Wow.
Wait a second. Who else wrote a book about this? Yeah, Tapper. Binder's now DEI Tapper. I wonder who got paid more. And there's nothing noble about this turncoat, remember?
Do you believe that the president is as sharp today as he was when he took this job? Have you seen any slowdowns?
What I can say is this is a president who is strong and resolute.
in delivering for the American people. That's what I see.
So he's as sharp as ever.
He is as sharp as ever, as I have known him to be in my engagement and my experience with him.
Binder invented the word cheap fake. She told you this real video of Biden getting lost in an Italian field was fake. Now she's saying, yeah, my White House was broken and I'm switching parties. Hopefully she can write better than she talks, because DEI Tapper sounds a lot like Mamala.
I think we need to stop thinking in boxes and think outside of our boxes and not be so partisan. And the way that I see moving forward in this space that we're in right now is, if you are willing to stand side by side with me, regardless of your how you identify politically, and as long as you respect the community that I belong to and vulnerable communities that I respect, I will be there with you.
Guys, isn't this absolutely crazy? I want you to watch the rest of this video because there's so much more that we're going to talk about here. We're only like halfway through this clip. That it's just insane to me. Absolutely insane. I mean, look at the lies. Look at the hypocrisy. I mean, I'm glad she's finally coming forth and putting a book out there and trying to tell the truth. I know it's a cheap cash grab, but there you had the recorded clips of her saying, there's no problem, there's no issues. And now she's written the book on there were problems, there were issues. Guys, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button as we watch the rest of this clip.
Book Independent, it's about looking outside of boxes, not just always being in a partisan stance.
While Binder's gold digging for book deals, Democrats are rolling their eyes. One Democrat says Binder's book is the most grifty thing I've seen in a long time. And that's saying something in Washington. One former Biden White House official says she was the public face telling us all that this White House was on track and that Biden was amazing. And now she doesn't even want to be a Democrat. Here's what CNN said about DEI Tapper.
What bothers me about this, and I was making some phone calls before this to a number of former Biden administration officials and people in the White House, where they were saying this is just all an attempt to sell books. And that is what the general consensus is right now in the Democratic Party.
Whoa, wait a second. When Tapper's book came out, CNN was like, this book was brave. But Binder writes a carbon copy, and it's like, uh-oh, money grab, money grab. One Democrat insider tells Fox, the job market's really tough right now for Biden world, and I cannot begrudge anyone who needs to make a quick buck. Binder's been trying to get a TV deal, but let's be honest, that was never in the cards. After she left the administration, she tried to get a job co-hosting The View, but The View never called her back. Some people have better luck. Just ask Lloyd Austin. He's making some moves from the Pentagon to K Street. Lloyd's now a lobbyist. Others are getting slapped with subpoenas. Comer's having his own summer soiree, sending letters to top Biden aides who had a heavy hand in the cover-up. The Sly Five just got a formal invite to be deposed. And Joe's doctor, he's not off the hook either. The one who gave him more COVID tests and prostate exams. O'Connor and Comer, they're checking their calendars right now for a good date. Voters just want respect and the truth. Two things Democrats abandoned because the machine told them to. But instead of earning it back, they're trying to buy it back. They just dropped 20 mil on a study about men. The project's called Speaking with American Men, SAM. And guess what? SAM's led by a lady.
No way, guys. Are you hearing this? This is absolutely insane. Of course, like the Democrats ditched the male figure. Everything about DEI and the LGBT movement, all the push for this, all this woke agenda, guys, left the modern man, left the male figure in the rearview mirror. And now they're like, oh, wait, maybe we do need men to stay in power. It's just getting crazier, guys. All right, check it out.
Who works in the abortion industry and used to work for Media Matters and MoveOn.org. She specializes, are you ready, in gender and extremism projects. And here's what she found. Quote, Democrats are seen as weak, whereas Republicans are seen as strong. Young men also spoke of being invisible to the Democratic coalition.
They were.
$20 million for that. Hulk Hogan told you that for free. And how are you supposed to get strong when your loudest leader's tampon? Next, they asked, do Democrats know what a man is? Quote, the focus groups found that young men feel they are in crisis, stressed, ashamed, and confused over what it means to be a man in 25. They vented about conflicting cultural messages of masculinity that put them in a no-win situation around the meaning of a man. So this was the men of the focus group, men who were confused about what it means to be a man, and men who are ashamed of being a man. And they found a Hispanic guy in Vegas who, shocker, doesn't love Lady Gaga. Quote, a Latino man from Las Vegas said that during the 24 campaign, Harris focused on, oh, I got Beyonce on stage with me. Oh, I got Lady Gaga on stage. And it just kind of felt like, what does that have to do with me? I'm trying to move up in life. Trump's over here like, if we're able to get a surplus in our budget, then we're going to have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Men aren't $1 million science experiment. They're studying us like we're space aliens. And just because you grow a beard and make a podcast doesn't make Democrat men manlier. Kind of makes you look like you're going undercover. And speaking of undercover, was Binder undercover this whole time?
Whoa.
Former White House officials say Binder would joke about being an independent while she was in the administration. That tracks because she left the White House on Jan 20th and wrote a 300-page book in 4 months. Now, I've written 2 books. It's impossible unless you've been writing it for a long time. No wonder she was so bad at briefing. She was unprepared because she was busy writing this backstabbing book. The 2 big DEI picks Biden made, Kamala and Binder, blew up in his face. DEI hand grenades.
Isn't that crazy, guys? I mean, if you're tired of the lies, the spin, the swamp, do me a big favor, guys. Hit that thumbs up like button. It helps this video reach more people who are just now waking up. Now, let's get into this. Karine Jean-Pierre spent 2 years lying to the American people on behalf of Joe Biden. She dodged questions. She denied reality. She called real footage of Biden wandering off stage as cheap fakes. She stood at that podium and she swore to us that Joe Biden was sharp, strong, and delivering for the American people. But now she's leaving the party, writing a book called Independent. And in that book, she admits that the White House is broken. Excuse me? Where was that honesty when she was in office? Where was that independence when she was circling the wagons around Biden's collapsing presidency? Guys, 100%. Don't miss this. This is not courage. This isn't principle. This is unashamedly a cash grab. Now, I'm glad she's finally telling the truth. Okay, don't miss it. I'm glad she's finally come forward and being honest. But we can't forget that she wasn't honest for 4 years with us. And even the Democrats aren't buying it. CNN insiders and former Biden staffers are calling it out as a grift, and they're right. This is a woman who tried to get a TV deal, failed, tried to co-host The View, failed. Now she's falling back on the DC career bailout plan, write a book, pretend to have a moral awakening, and sell yourself as a reformed insider. And let's not forget, guys, this is one of Biden's key DEI hires. She was chosen for her identity, not her ability. And just like Kamala, it backfired. America is now watching the consequences of valuing diversity optics over actual leadership. Meanwhile, the liberals are spending $20 million to figure out why men aren't connecting with their party. Here's an idea. Maybe stop treating men like a broken science experiment. Maybe stop replacing strength with sensitivity training. We don't need gender studies, guys. We need leadership. The Democratic machine is falling apart from the inside. Not Democrat, the Democrat Party. Now, even their own mouthpieces are bailing out, pretending they were never part of it. So here's the big question, guys. I had to ask you. Do you think that Karine Jean-Pierre is being honest, or is this just a strategic rebrand to stay relevant and sell some books? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment down below. Let your voice be heard. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our hard-hitting coverage. And guys, if you want to support real conservative commentary that cuts through the noise, consider becoming a channel member today, guys. I'm Nolan Alders, and I'm going to keep saying what the media won't. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one.